balcony if we know whose cars are parked downstairs because they should be moved. They're saying that they're going to be destroyed once this street battle starts. So yes, they are absolutely organized, and they don't seem to even be in a hurry. I feel like it's almost at their pace. Once they finish putting up their barricade, whatever they're planning will start. As to who exactly they are, it's very difficult to tell. All I can tell you is that from the people that I am staying with, the people who've given me shelter here, and the surrounding neighbors that I've been speaking to, a lot of them who have been living here for decades in the same apartment are telling me that they recognize a lot of people that they're seeing below. They're very close to us, so they have a good view of them, and they're saying that they recognize them as policemen who have been in the past patrolling this particular area and that know this area very well. That is what they're telling me. I can't confirm that, of course.
Okay. We're just looking at, I believe, pictures from earlier on today from the barricades. They're not live pictures of what's going on right now. All right, thank you for bringing us that update. That's one of our correspondents there on the ground telling us that there seems to be some sort of standoff that's about to take place any minute now between the pro-democracy supporters and pro-Mubarak supporters off of Liberation Square, or Tahrir Square as it's known. So the battle seems to be raging on in Cairo. Well, the international community is watching the chaotic scenes in the country very closely. The UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, he's made a statement after meeting with British Prime Minister David Cameron.
I'm deeply concerned at the continuing violence in Egypt. I once again urge restraint to all the sides. And this is very much unacceptable situation is happening. Any attack against the peaceful demonstrators is unacceptable, and I strongly condemn it.
Well, the UK Prime Minister David Cameron, he also commented on the events in Egypt.
If it turns out that the regime in any way has been sponsoring or tolerating this violence, that would be completely and utterly unacceptable. These are despicable scenes that we're seeing, and they should not be repeated. They underline the need for political reform, and frankly for that political reform to be accelerated and to happen quickly. We need to see a clear roadmap for that political reform so that people in Egypt can have confidence that their aspirations for a more democratic future with greater rights is met. And that change needs to start happening now, and the violence needs to stop.
The European Union's foreign policy chief, Baroness Catherine Ashton, she told Al Jazeera that President Hosni Mubarak needs to speak to the opposition and the violence in the country must stop.
The message that I would give from the pictures that I've seen is it's very, very important that we see restraint being shown. It's absolutely essential that we see people calmly now making their protests, of course, but actually not moving to any more violence. It's essential that we see that, because it now needs to be absolutely clear that we need to see the transition, and we need for President Mubarak to respond to the will of the people by showing the plan that he has, and the people can believe in that plan.
Well, the people are calling for President Mubarak to stand down right away. He said that he wouldn't take part in elections in September. When you say you're calling for Mubarak to listen to the people, are you calling for President Mubarak to stand down now?
I think it's not for me to call for him to stand down. It's for the people to work with him to determine the process by which they move to democracy, to the elections, that they go forward. And he needs to be in dialogue with them, and he needs to work that process out with them so that they feel confident that they can see the transition. You know, the 27 foreign ministers we met on Monday in the Foreign Affairs Council, which I chair, we were very clear. Transition, transformation, it needs to be there, it needs to be obvious, and there needs to be a process in place. That's what he needs to do, and he has to talk to people to achieve that.
So that was the view from the EU, the European Union. Well, there's been high drama, as we're telling you, in Cairo, with pro-democracy demonstrators and anti-government protesters clashing violently. We'll leave you now with those images.
مبارك الكلب لازم يتحاكم.